Welcome back. It is our fourth lecture of the course History of Bengal Art and Architecture. In our previous lectures, we covered what is Bengal and its people. Later, we revisited the brief political history of Bengal. In our last class, we learned about the ancient architecture of Bengal too. It is the starting lecture on Bengal's Buddhist architecture, which will present some early stupa architecture and development of shrine in Bengal. The next lecture on Buddhist architecture will cover the development of monastic architecture of Bengal. In Buddhist architecture, a stupa is a mound-like or hemispherical structure containing relics, primarily relics of Buddha. Architecturally, it is an outdoor monument. Whereas a choito refers to a space with a stupa and a round apse at the end. The stupa generally placed opposite the entrance and is usually has a high roof with a rounded profile. Architecturally, it is an indoor version of the stupa. A shrine is a holy or sacred place for prayer dedicated to a specific deity, maybe sometimes for Buddha or his followers. Earlier shrine could be found attached to any stupa, and later it was detached within an interior space. The last type, a stupa shrine, is a combination of shrine and stupa. It is primarily a shrine or a cluster of shrine, but sometimes they have crown similar to stupa, or sometimes they have advanced stupa-like base. Architecturally, they have a space for prayer dedicated to a specific deity or a space for ceremonial activities, primarily pradakshina path. Let us see how was the stupa of Bengal. As we learned from our previous lecture, the material evidence of Bengal's glorious past, especially the ancient and medieval ones, washed away by the natural forces like floods and river flow. Moreover, the lack of availability of stone makes our buildings more perishable. It is real for the early Buddhist architecture of Bengal too. Literally, evidence shows that the non-Aryan people of Bengal came in touch with Buddhism during Buddha's life, between 560 BCE and 540 BCE. Buddha has delivered his first talk at Sarnath and then moved to different places of India to preach Buddhism, which includes Pundabardhan of Bengal too. To commemorate the visit, later Ashoka erected a stupa in Pundabardhan during his reign, between 269 to 232 BCE. Unfortunately, till now we could not find any physical trace of that stupa. However, Yuan Sang, a Chinese monk and traveler who visited this part of Bengal in 7th century CE, confirmed the existence of that vihara. As we see from Ashokan stupa of other parts of this region, Ashoka had his idea of the stupa, which was adapted to fit with the local context in his region. From political history, we know that many parts of Bengal had a significant role in Ashoka's empire. Based on this, we could assume that somewhere we had a stupa similar to such a stupa or an adapted version of it to be traced yet. We may remember from our previous course, ARC327 History of Art and Architecture 3, that there was a trend of development in the stupa. We have seen that the early stupas had a circular plan and gradually later stupas had a square plan. Similarly, early stupa were plain and had only a pradakshina path around it. We found that the advanced stupa like the Borobadur had several pradakshina paths in different layers, like significant steps. Among the traceable stupas of Bengal, first comes the Tri-Ratno stupa of Kutilamura Vihara. It is on the isolated Mainamati ridge of the present Kumilla city. The place was part of the then Devaparvata, literally means Parvat of Dev, the mountains of God of Shamotat. Based on the artifacts found nearby, those stupa were built in the 7th century CE during the early Deva rule of Shamotat. Architecturally, it has a square base with a center projection on each side. The elongated stupa had an elaborated drum below. There were probably 4 icons of Buddha on cardinal directions attached to the drum. On the crown, there was a square platform as a base for the topmost chhatri. Lack of pradakshina path suggests the nearby shrine were used for rituals. Interestingly, the next stupa of Bengal at the Harishchandra Rajar Divi has the pradakshina path. To understand the next stupa properly, we need some understanding of the advanced phases of a stupa. We see there are two types of advanced stupa with multi-tiered pradakshina path. The first one is the crown with stupa type similar to the Borobaduru of Java. The second one is crown with a shrine similar to many shrine stupa of Cambodia. Though we can see the advanced form of stupa shrine in Cambodia, it is believed that it was originated in Bengal during the pre-Pala period. Our second stupa was a stupa shrine of pre-Pala or early Pala period of later 7th or early 8th century CE. Unfortunately, the stupa of Harishchandra Rajar Dibi does not have a surviving crown. However, at least 4 pradakshina paths are evident of that monument. Based on the typology, it could be assumed that it was crowned similar to some Cambodian stupas, which need further study to verify. If the assumption is right, then it was instead a stupa shrine. We have another stupa shrine larger than the Harishchandra Rajar Dibi. It is named Bharatbhayana, located at Keshapur of Jeshore. Most probably, it was built during the Gupta period around 450 CE. Architecturally, it had 4 tiered pradakshina paths surmounted by a cluster of shrines. On that level, there was the main shrine with 4 supporting small shrines on 4 corners of the level. 4 axial stairways lead towards the shrine level, whereas the shrine had only one entrance through the east. We already discussed some key stupa and stupa shrines of Bengal. Moreover, no Choita has been discovered in any part of Bengal. Now we will move towards the development of Buddhist shrine in Bengal. Primarily, Bengal has 3 types of shrines: the single Garbhagriha shrine, Panchayatana shrine, and Kushifram shrine. The origin of the single Garbhagriha shrine could be traced back as far as Gandhar during the early Buddhist period, and we found the presence of Panchayatana shrine at Nalanda too, whereas the cruciform shrine evolved in Bengal. Most probably, Garbhagriha shrine is the common shrine form in Buddhist architecture. It contains a single square Garbhagriha with or without a mandupa. Till now, no central shrine, which means the shrine placed at the center of a monastery, has been identified in Bengal, which could be described as a single Garbhagriha shrine. However, it is widespread for supporting an individual shrine. The term Panchayatana is a combination of 2 Sanskrit words, Pancho and Ayatana, where Pancho means the 5 and Ayatana means to contain. So, Panchayatana means which contains 5. This type of shrine we found there is the main shrine which is surrounded by 4 subsidiary shrines. In Bengal, only traceable of the type is identified at present-day Murshidabad. The shrine was built in mid-7th century during the reign of Shashanka of Gaur kingdom. Probably Bharatbhayana had a similar shrine arrangement on the top of the platform. Now we will move to the cruciform section. It is one of the unique inventions in Bengal architecture. Previously, we have discussed the single Garbhagriha shrine. The cruciform shrine is a combination of 4 of them. At this stage, most probably the spiritual development set functional requirement to have 4 Garbhagriha on a single shrine. The solution was unique. The designer rotated the single Garbhagriha shrine and paused on 4 cardinal directions, and the result is the cruciform shrine. Archaeologists identified the early cruciform shrine at the earlier construction phase of Bhuja Vihara. Most probably it was like this. In each direction, it had only one Garbhagriha without any mandupa. The next phase of the cruciform shrine development was the addition of mandupa in each direction. We find this type at the Great Paharpur Bihar. The remains of its central shrine show this type of arrangement. In each direction, we can see a Garbhagriha with a mandupa. Its mandupa was elaborate too. Based on all available information, this is the probable reconstruction of Paharpur Bihar. This type could name as the cruciform shrine with mandupa. The next development phase of cruciform shrine type could be traced at the Shalbon Bihar. In this arrangement, an additional space added to each station as a Mohamandupa. The addition of Mohamandupa suggests the presence of a large number of people on the prayer. This was in short the development of stupa and shrine of Bengal. Thanks for